everyone, I'm Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me in today's Strong class. So like I just said, today's class is going to be fairly strong, almost like a Monday class. If you usually practice with props like bricks, blocks, cushions, bolster, then please feel free to grab them. If today's class you would like to practice with props, then obviously please grab it. So grab whatever you need. Today we're going to work into a grasshopper peak pose. It is an arm balance. Like I say, with videos, it's a really great time to explore, dissect arm balances when you don't have enough time in a public, live class, unless you're doing obviously privates. So once you've got everything you need, meet me right here on your mat. So we'll start in, let's just start in whatever position feels good for you. So sit nice and tall, come to a child's pose, lie down, whatever feels good. Once you find your place, we're going to close down the eyes. Soften into your breath. And begin to soften into all your muscles and all your ligaments. And now as we just sit here on our mat, just notice how you're sitting or how you are in whatever position that you have chosen. So if you're in a child's pose, notice how spacious and long the back feels in your child's pose. And notice the contraction, the closing of the front of the body. Noticing the forehead sink into the ground. And really feel the breath bounce off and on to the knee, the chest, the floor. And if you're in your seated pose, notice where you're bearing your weight. Maybe you're leaning a little bit too forwards. Maybe you're leaning too far back and you're rounding into the spine. See if you can maybe wiggle just side to side, forwards and backwards until you find a nice neutral place. Bringing the crown of the head all the way to the ceiling. Allowing the shoulders to roll down and back. And if you're lying down, just notice how heavy it feels to sink yourself into your ground. So just come to that awareness of how the physical body feels. And then let's see if we can slow down the breath a little bit more. Beginning our Ujjayi victorious breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose, really feel it all the way to the collarbone, all the way to the nostrils. And then as you exhale, exhale through the nose, slight constriction of the throat. Almost like a Darth Vader, you're smearing a wall in front of you. 2 more times like that. Take a big breath in, fill up the lungs, fill up the chest, fill it all the way to the nostrils. And then exhale through the nose. 1 last time, take a big breath in, fill it all the way to the top, like you're filling up a cup. And then exhale through the nose. So if this Ujjayi breath is not in your practice, then just really notice and become aware of the inhales and exhales as they come and go. So the most important thing throughout this practice is keeping the breath nice and soft. Inhales through the nose and exhales through the nose. So if at any time, it's really important to acknowledge this and to accept this. If you feel like you're running out of breath, you're panting, maybe you've gone a little bit too far, take a step back and then rejoin when you're ready. Keeping the breath nice and soft. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Whenever you're ready, gently blink the eyes open. Nice soft gaze. Find your focus. Land yourself back into this room. Just warming up into the wrist. Bring the back of the hands together. We'll just create circles. Keep them together, so make sure they don't lift. And then just do some real nice big rolls. I always say before, in each class to warm up into the wrist, because it's so important to warm up into the foundation. And since we're on our hands a lot, the wrists a lot, especially in today's class, it's especially important. Other way. And then I'm going to reach the arms out in front of you. Spread into the fingers. And all we're going to do is flicker the fingers. This is one of my favorite to warm up into the wrist. And into the forearms. Forearms mainly. Keep going super, super faster. This is one of those things that doesn't look as much. But when you actually do it and you do it right, it kills you. So keep going. Ride the wave of the breath. Nice soft inhales. Nice soft exhales. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it off. Here we go. So if you need a little bit more time in any of these wrist exercises, then hit pause. It's a great thing about online videos. Hands to the ground, just lower and lift. The palms. So make sure the knuckles stay grounded. And keep lowering and lift. So we'll just stretch into the palms and warm up this way. So now we'll turn the back of the hands towards the ground and then we'll rock forwards and backwards. I always say this is a great one. If you're typing a lot, you're doing a lot of texting. And then we'll turn the inner wrist forward and then gently rock forwards and backwards. The closer the knees are towards the fingers, or I won't say easier because it's still quite tough, but the less of a movement stretch that you'll get. So if you feel like this is too intense, then I definitely suggest bringing the knees closer. And then when you're ready, reset. As I always say, find your foundation. So hands shoulder width distance apart. Index fingers facing forward. So if you're feeling a little bit tight today, spread the fingers out a little bit more. Knees underneath the hips for your tabletops, toe tucked or untucked. Take a deep inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through, the arms look up. And as you exhale, round it in, chin towards the chest. We're coming for your traditional cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms, create the arch. And then as you exhale, hollow out the belly, draw the chin towards the chest, push it ground away from you. A few more just like that. Keep breathing. And then gradually make this your last one. Come back to neutral. Spread into the fingers, zip the belly button in, ribs in and down. You're going to lean right, swing this right foot back behind you, modified side plank. Roll yourself open towards the left, checking that the right shoulder sits on top of the right wrist. Hips on top of hips, shoulder on top of shoulder. So keep reaching through the fingertips. Maybe the gaze slightly out in front of you towards the right hand. Shift it towards the left hand, wherever feels comfortable. You can always place your left hand on top of the left hip. You're going to inhale, lift your left leg up. And as you exhale, sweep your left leg forward. So as you do this, make sure you're not overcompensating by sticking the hips back behind you. in order to swing this leg forward. So we really want to use this outer glute here. If this feels too much, you can always lie down onto the right side, and then you can always do it this way. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, sweep it back behind you. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Is that 3 rounds? Let's just do one more time. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. This time round, land your left foot towards the back of the mat. Left toes face the back. Left knee is bent. You're going to rise up. We're going to come to a baby extended side angle. So left forearm finds your front thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over. Maybe shift the gaze again to underneath the armpits or towards the ground, wherever feels comfortable on the neck. Inhale lifts you all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands towards the top of the mat again. Oh, this mic's in the way. You're going to come to a bird dog. Sorry, let me just adjust the mic. I tend to not have it up here because I don't like you hearing me breathe. So we'll try it there. Sorry, so left leg floats back behind you, followed by the right arm. If this feels too much for you, you can always just lower the right hand. Okay. So a common thing for me to see in a class is for this left hip to lift in order to lift this left leg. Notice how the arch begins to come back in when I lose core engagement as well. And since we're not focusing on back bend, I want you to zip the belly button in. Think about rolling the left toe, little toe towards the ground and really drawing the ribs in and down. I prefer to tuck my right toes under just to give me a little bit more stability, but you do you. So take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, elbow to knee, round into a tiny ball. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. One last time, inhale, release. And as you exhale, crunch. So this time round, you're going to inhale, release. Exhale, bend into the left knee to the outside of your left hip, followed by the right arm. So the right arm is 90 degrees in line with the shoulder. You can stay here. If you like, you can extend your left leg, right arm to the wall. So both limbs are extended. If you're trying for that, in these stronger classes, it's always about being honest in your classes. I say it particularly in a strong class because that's where we tend to cheat. I see a lot of people cheating, compromising the body parts and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Find your engagement, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, left leg back behind you, right arm forward. Inhale, sweep the arm and the leg to the side, and as you exhale, forward. Find the stability in the core. One last time, inhale, release, nice and slow. And as you exhale, reach. Bring the right hand to the mat. Three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. Take a big inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, shift it forwards. Plank pose. I'll drop the knees to the ground, show you behind the hips. Nice, gentle version of a plank pose. I'm going to shift it forward, way past. Hips and chest in line with each other as you wrap the triceps back, lower halfway down. And then all the way to the ground. Point 10 toes as you inhale, find your baby back bend. Peel the chest up, activate into the back body. Use the strength of the spine. And then as you exhale, push back. Child's pose, seat to the heels. Relax the forehead. Soften into your breath. Keep reaching the arms out in front of you, hands about shoulder width distance apart. As you inhale, roll forward, think cat pose, puff up in between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, move through the cow, bring the seat to the heels. Two more like that. Inhale, ripple forwards, hollow out the belly, really exaggerate into the roundness of the upper back. And as you exhale, bring the seat to the heels, one vertebrae at a time. One last time, inhale, roll forwards. And then she exhale back. I'm just going to trace eyes. This time around, you're going to inhale, roll forward, spread into the left fingers. You're going to lean left, coming into that modified side plank. Keep lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, and think about crunching the left last rib and the hip point together and finding length along the right. So take a deep inhale, lift your right leg nice and high, and as you exhale, sweep. Remember, you can always lie down on the left side, or maybe you don't sweep the leg as forward. Inhale, release. And then as you exhale, forwards. One last time, inhale, release. Exhale, forwards. This time around, inhale, release. Exhale, land your right foot to the top of the mat. Knees bent, toes facing forwards. Baby extended side angle, right forearm on top of the thigh, left arm sweeps up and over. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, release the hands to the mat. Right leg floats behind you, followed by your left arm. Bird dog. So take a deep inhale through the nose, find your engagement. And as you exhale, round it in. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, round. Keep pressing into the inner right palm. One last time, inhale, release. And as you exhale, round. This time round, inhale, release. Exhale, find your awkward tabletop. So either the limbs are bent towards the outside of you, or you can extend. Yeah, depending on what you can keep. Inhale, return back to center. And then as you exhale, sweep. One last time, inhale, release. Exhale, sweep. This time round, inhale, release. Exhale, left hand finds the ground, three-legged dog, right leg lifts up. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, plank pose. Again, maybe the knees drops to the ground. As you shift it forwards, wrap the triceps back as you lower yourself all the way to the ground like a one clean line. Point 10 toes, inhale, find your baby back bend. Relax the shoulders, pull the chest through the arms, and then as you exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. So, as you come into your downward facing dog, just wiggle it around. So the reason why I suggest, coming to a baby back bend first, because a lot of us reach up for the high cobra, or we come to the upward dog too soon in our practice, and we're not warm enough in the back. So, with the sequence, we're trying to warm your muscles up before we reach the flexibility, okay? So just keep that in mind, obviously, unless you've done another class or other movements before. Keep lifting the hips up and back. Find your breath, maybe wiggle it around. And again, go back to finding that truth in your practice, okay? How are you in your downward dog? Do you need to bend your knees? Do you need to step further back? Just become aware of how you are in this upside down V. Shift the gaze out in front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Feet about hip width distance apart, or big toes together, little gap in the heels for more of the traditional stance. Any forward fold that you like, just go for it. Allow yourself to just hang. Hands on top of the legs or to the ground or to the blocks. As you inhale, halfway lift, pull the chest through. I also see a lot of arms just hanging here. Do something with the arms. That's why I'm saying hands on top of the legs or to the ground. Find your purpose. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Press down on the legs. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. One final time with me showing you with knees behind the hips. So shift it forward. Gaze is always out in front of you, like in your arm balances. Gaze is always out in front of you. If you look directly down, the bottom will start to stick up, okay? So shift it forwards. Nice long lower back. Ribs in and down. Belly button in as you lower yourself all the way to the ground. Point 10 toes as you inhale, find your cobra, baby back bend. Activate into that back body. Roll the shoulders back, nice broad chest. And then as you exhale, use your whole belly to lift you all the way up. Downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the nose. Inhale, look at the front of you. Slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, fold all the way back down. Again, hands on top of the legs or to the ground. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Sorry, I keep fiddling with the mic. As you come into your plank, sorry. Choose what you want to do, okay? It is okay for you to lower the knees to the ground. I definitely recommend lowering the knees to the ground if you cannot hold a plank. Again, come back to being honest with yourself. Am I engaging properly in a plank? If I'm not, I need to lower the knees to the ground. So if you're in your full plank pose, shoulders on top of the wrists. If you've got wrist problems, then you can always shift the shoulders back slightly. Again, I like a super high plank pose. So my heels are stacked on top of the toes. I'm engaging the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs together, engaging to the pelvis. And then I'm drawing my belly button in and down, ribs in together and down. Neck is nice and long, so nothing changes. As you shift it forwards, wrap the triceps back as you lower halfway down. And tuck the toes, inhale, finds your back bend. So now I'm in a upward dog. Tops of the feet are to the ground, followed by the hands. And I'm pushing myself up towards the ceiling. And I'm pouring the chest forward. Tuck your toes under, use your whole belly, downward facing dog. One more time, just like that, a little bit faster. So inhale, look at the front of you, slowly step or jump to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs, inhale, lift you all the way up, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step, plank pose, shift it forwards, wrap the elbows in, lower halfway down. And tuck the toes, inhale, finds your back bend. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. If you like, you can always come into a child's pose. Keep lifting the hips back behind you, maybe bend into the knees. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Left foot to center. As you inhale, reach your right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, fall in triangle. So thread the right leg underneath the left arm. Spin the back foot down. Left arm reaches up. So think of it as like a revolved side plank. Left arm can always reach over the head if you're looking for an extra side stretch, in which case we will do today. So reach your left arm over the head. Squeeze the 2 feet together. Now drop the left hand to the ground, square the chest off to the front of the mat. Turn the back heel up, so you're like crossing the inner thighs in a plank pose. If this feels too much on the outer right glute, shift the foot down a little bit more. You can always drop the left knee or just come to a pigeon. Keep pulling back on that right hip as the left hip goes forward. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, tap the right hip down. Inhale, lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it nice and high. Maybe reach your left arm forwards. Ooh. Keep grounding into the right hand. Maybe lift your back leg up. Just, why not? Lower it down. Lower the hips down. Come into an extended pigeon pose. So my right leg has that, the outer hip has that flexibility to point send my leg to that left wall. My hips are slightly open and my chest is facing forward. So if this isn't you today, scooch the right foot way down. Feels a bit awkward. Come to that pigeon, okay? What we're doing is just trying to stretch slightly into the right side and into the right outer glute. Find your breath. Tuck the left toes under. Three-legged dog, right leg lifts up. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, roll onto the left side, outside of the left foot. Ooh. Side plank. Really ground into this left foot. So when you come to a pose as well, don't be afraid to just adjust yourself. You're not stuck, to the mat. I'm grounding my left foot to the ground. So my stance is a little bit shorter. So instead of sticking my bottom out, I'm lifting the hips up to compensate for the shortness of the stance. Bear that in mind, because I'm using my left oblique. I'm going to send my right knee towards the ceiling or the armpit. Yeah, so notice my bottom's not sticking out. I'm really using the oblique. You can stay here. If you like, squeeze the knee in towards the armpit. Maybe grab onto the big toe. Think about being in a half happy baby in a side plank. Yeah, so choose where you want to be. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, step your right foot towards the right edge of the mat, the front lizard lunge. Keep the left knee off the ground if you can, as you squeeze the 2 feet together. Spread into the right toes, shift the gaze out in front of you. Find your engagement. You're going to spring to the top of the mat, connect elbow to knee. Tiny little ball. Nice and slow, inhale, release. The slower you do things, the more control you have. And then as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat, elbow to knee. One last time, inhale, release. And then as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat. Pause here. Round into the tiny ball a little bit more. Press down the right foot. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Tuck the left knee in. And then as you exhale, we're going to curtsy squat. So bend into that right leg. Land your left knee all the way down as far as you can. Stick the butt back behind you. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Left leg in front of you. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. Feel free to use your hands. Inhale, lift. Whoa. Embrace the wobble. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. And this time around, we'll lift it all the way up. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Use your quad. Exhale, swing your left leg back behind you. Warrior 3. Whatever variation, again, if you've got bricks, feel free to use it. So that the front leg straightens a little bit more. You can use the hamstring a little bit more. Send the chest forward. So again, we're not rounding. Yeah, we're always finding length wherever you are. You can always bring your hands together, heart center, or reach the arms forwards. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, bring the left knee in. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, in. One last time, inhale, release. And then as you exhale, in. Soften into that right leg, land your left toes back behind you, easy twist towards the right. Reach your right arm high. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, take your time, downward facing dog. Maybe you want to step back. Maybe you want to come into a child's pose. Maybe you want a vinyasa, up to you, your practice. Other side, so right foot to center. As you inhale, reach your left leg nice and high. And as you exhale, fall in. Triangle, thread the leg underneath that right arm. Right arm reaches up and over the head. Keep pressing into the outer right foot as you reach through the right fingertips. Then drop the hand to the mat. Turn yourself towards the top. Adjust your feet if you need to. Turn the back heel up. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, drop the hip to the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it all the way up. Notice how I'm now adjusting the feet in order for me to ground that left foot. I'm squeezing the inner thighs together. I'm really pressing into that left hand to lift the back leg and the right arm forwards. Whenever you're ready, drop the hip down, pigeon pose, extended or traditional with a knee bend. So this is really a nice time for you to find your breath. So I'll probably say this class isn't as hard as I usually do it in a Monday class, purely because there's only so many things I can do while I'm pregnant. So, so this is a little bit easier than what a Monday class would usually be. But hopefully I can get you some hard classes. When you're ready, three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, roll it into a side plank onto the right side. Again, think about grounding into that right foot if you can. Lift your hips up, but notice how the shoulder still sacks on top of the wrist. I'm really finding that rainbow, and I'm sending the left knee towards the ceiling. If this feels too much on the balance, feel free to drop the left fingertips to the ground, but keep your whole body open towards the left. Again, you can stay here, maybe grab onto the knee, really engage and send your hips forward. Or you can grab the big toe or the foot and think about being in that half happy baby in the side plank. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, lizard lunge, step the left foot forward, scoot your right foot way back behind you. Hands onto the inside of that left foot. Remember, the knees and the toes always need to be in the same direction. So shift the gaze out in front of you, press into that left foot. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat, elbow to knee. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat and round. One last time, inhale, release. And as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat. This time round, press down the foot, inhale, lift you all the way up, extend into that right leg. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. Squat it nice and low, sink the butt back. Feel free to use the hands. Hands is not a problem. Inhale, lift you all the way up, extend. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. One last time, inhale, lift. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. Woo! Squat it nice and low. Inhale, lift you all the way up, extend. And then as you exhale, swing this right foot or leg back. Warrior three, whatever variation. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, knee towards the chest. Inhale, release. And as you exhale, in. Squat it low one last time. Inhale, release. Exhale, round. This time round, the inhale, release. Drop the right toes behind you, twisted lower lunge. Take a big inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, hand finds the ground, downward facing dog. Come to a child's pose if you need to, or if you would like to. You can vinyasa through. You know, just meet us in a place where it feels good for you. Find your breath again. Inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. Once you're ready, if you're not ready, join us in a downward facing dog. Adding on into the sequence, as you inhale, reach your right leg nice and high. And as you exhale, thread it under, falling triangle. Spin the back foot down, left arm reaches up and over. Drop the left hand to the ground, take a big inhale. Turn the back heel up, and as you exhale, tap the hip to the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Ground your foot, the right foot, maybe left arm reaches forward. You can always lift your back leg up. And then when you're ready, extended pigeon, or just come to your regular traditional pigeon. Maybe just use this time to kind of bring the palms up, ease into the wrist. Tuck the left toes under, three-legged dog, right leg reaches up. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Spread into the right toes as you just automatically come into that curtsy squat, left knee to the outside of that left calf. Bring the left heel towards the glute and squat it low and back, chest forwards. Extend your left leg to the right, so spin that left foot down. Right fingertips to the mat or to a block. Left hand onto the lower back. Take a deep inhale, send your right shoulder forwards, and as you exhale, twist towards the left. You can stay here if you like, reach your left arm high. So just adding in a twist. Press down that right foot, inhale, lifts you all the way up, bring the left knee in. And as you exhale, step your left toes behind you, lizard lunge, hands towards the inside of that right foot. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat, elbow to knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, spring. One last time, inhale, release. Exhale, spring. Press down the foot, inhale, lift you all the way up, roll the knee in. And as you exhale, warrior three. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, round the knee in. Inhale, release. And as you exhale in. The slower you do this, the more control. Inhale, release. And as you exhale in. Press down the leg, inhale, lifts you all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Big toes together, little gap in the heels. Bend your knees, arms reaches up. Send your hips back, knees roughly on top of the ankle. I see a lot of this, squatting low. I mean, if you send the knees forward and you squat it low, notice how you're not really engaged in the base anyway. So, find your engagement. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to twist towards the right. Hook the elbow to the outside of the knee. Squeeze the knees together. Make sure you're not sending the left knee forwards and then the hip forwards. So see you can keep them in line and really twist from the upper back. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, you're going to lean right. Take a big step back with the left toes. Nice and slow. Twisted lower lunge. Keep the front knee stacked on top of the ankle. But for, this is another thing why I always say don't exactly copy what I do. Because notice how I'm not going into a deep twist. And that's because, I'm going to try and avoid belly too much. So I still got a slight twist, as you know. My belly's not too big right now, but I'm not deeply rotating. So if you can, please do that. Take a deep inhale. Left hand finds the ground roughly underneath the shoulder. You're going to pivot 10 toes towards the right, rolling onto the pinky side of the feet. Drop the left hip down. Shrug your left shoulder towards the ear. And again, if it feels too much in the front outer hip, scooch the foot down a little bit more. Inhale, lift, fall in lunge. Reach the arm over the head. And then as you exhale, tap the hip to the ground. Right arm to that left leg. One last time, inhale, lift. Exhale down. This time round, press into that left foot and that left hand. You're going to roll it into a side plank, half happy baby, grab whatever you can. Yeah. Take a deep inhale, exhale, step your right foot forward. Turn towards the left as you squat into that right leg, Skandasana. Nice proud chest, breathe. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, use your inner thighs, lift it up, warrior two, front, or the left knee is bent. Coming back into that Skandasana, right leg bends. And then lift it all the way up. Use your inner thighs, pelvic floor. One last time, inhale. And then as you exhale, lift it all the way up. Release the hands to the mat, child's pose. Reaching the arms out in front of you as you inhale, roll forward, knees behind your hips. Shift it forwards, find your engagement, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, seat to the heels. Feel free to keep the knees lifted. If you can keep the integrity of the pose. Two more like that. Inhale, roll forward, allow it to flow naturally. Shift it forwards, wrap the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. One last time, inhale forwards. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale back. Take a nice breather. And then when you're ready, we'll return back into a downward dog, however you like. You can stay in your child's pose or you can vinyasa through. It's completely up to you. And we're gonna repeat the sequence on the other side. As you inhale, reach your left leg nice and high. And as you exhale, fall in triangles. Thread the leg underneath the arm. Reach your right arm high. Right arm finds the ground. Turn yourself towards the top of the mat. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, tap the hip to the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Again, you can always do that funky thing if you like. And then if you're ready, drop the hip down. We'll come to that extended pigeon or maybe that regular pigeon pose. Tucking the right toes under, three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, step your left foot forward, curtsy squat, right knee to the outside of that left calf or ankle. This left hip, make sure it's not sticking out. Wrap it back and in, so you're really using that glute. Press down the leg. Inhale, lift you all the way up, roll the knee in. And as you exhale, lizard lunge, here you come, hands towards the inside of that left foot. Take a big inhale, send the chest forward. And then as you exhale, spring to the top of the mat, elbow to knee. Inhale, release. Exhale, spring and round. One last time, inhale, release. I think I've done too many. And as you exhale, and round it in. Press down the leg, inhale, lift you all the way up. Exhale, warrior 3, whatever variation. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, round it in. Inhale, release. Exhale, round. One last time, inhale, release. Exhale, round. Press down that left foot, inhale, lift you all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the butt back. Slight lean of the chest forwards. Ribs in and down, hands together as you twist towards the left. Again, don't twist too much in the knees and in the hips. So you're going to lean left, spread into the toes, take a big step back with the right toes, twisted lower lunge. So notice how I'm scooching my foot way back behind me in order for the right heel, to stack on top of the toes and this left hip to wrap back. Right hand finds the ground, falling lunge, pivot 10 toes towards the long side of the mat, drop the hip down. Again, adjust the foot if you need to. Left hand to the back foot. Inhale, lift, reach the arm over, and then as you exhale, tap. One last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. This time round, ground into your base, inhale, lift, side lunge, half happy baby. Grab hold of, whatever you can. Lift up, step your left foot forward, pivot the toes out slightly, Skandasana, facing the right side of the mat. Inhale, lifts you all the way up, warrior 2, right knee is bent, and then as you exhale back. Inhale, lift, exhale back. This time round, inhale, lifts you all the way up, front knee on top of the ankle, facing forwards. Exhale, release the hands to the mat, child's pose. Reaching the arms out in front of you. Take a big inhale, roll forwards, triceps back. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Even if you just move a tiny little bit, as long as you keep that integrity. If you're keeping the knees off the ground, I'll show you once. So inhale, roll forward, think plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, seat to the heels, but keep the knees off. Yeah, so if you want to do that one last time, feel free to. Inhale, roll forwards, shift it forwards, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, seat to the heels. Child's pose. Maybe use this time to turn the palms up again. I have wrist issues, so I like to do this a lot. Finding nice inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. While I find my breath. Inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. When you're ready, we'll meet at the top of the mat. Folding forwards. Feet about hip width distance apart. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press down the leg. Inhale, lift you all the way up. Reach the arm high. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Spread into the right toes. Cross your left ankle. Shall I show you this way? I'll show you at an angle. On top of the ankle, figure 4 in the legs. Standing pigeon. Remember, take the back bend out of it. Zip the ribs in and down. Notice how that automatically finds length in the lower back once I draw the ribs in and down, belly button in. Ooh. So you can stay here if you like, fingertips to the ground, to the block. You can just come for a nice outer glute stretch. We did a lot of warming up into the outer glute. A lot of active stretching as well. If you want to try, you're going to lift your right heel nice and high, squat low. And then you're going to twist towards the right. I'm not going to show you too long because it is quite a deep twist for me. This left foot will go onto the left tricep. So I'm really pressing the foot into the arms, arm into the foot. So like I said, you'll need to stretch a little bit more into the side body if you feel like you're not there yet. So again, feel free to hip pause. You're going to zip the ribs and the belly in, hands to the outside of that right hip. So again, right elbow is free. You can try it with the shelf like we did in the twisted side crow, but I'm going to just graze the hip. Hands are slightly shoulder width distance apart. Let me just walk back. Index finger facing forwards, find your chaturanga arms. Gaze slightly out in front of you. You're going to lean forwards and then rock it back. So you can stay here. If you like, you're going to lean forward, press into the foot into the arm, and then you're going to lean forward, extend, and then the right foot is flexed. Whew. Let's try it on the other side. I'll do it from this way again. So right ankle crosses on top of the thigh. We're going to take a standing pigeon pose. You can stay where you are, fingertips to the ground or to the block. Perfect, stay where you are. You don't have to take the next step. So you're going to walk the arms over towards the right. I mean, I like to sit down so I can really find that rotation, but you know, you do you. Right foot towards the tricep. So this takes a lot of groin work, flexibility as well. But I think my right ankle is sickling in, so just be aware of that. I'm going to find my hands. I'm going to find the arms. Gaze out in front of you as you lean it forwards. Wrap the left elbow in, lean forwards, nice spacious chest, round into the upper back, left leg engaged, flexed foot, and then forwards and down. So what you need to remember is the gaze is always out in front of you, never directly down. You need your hands about shoulder width distance apart, index finger facing forwards. Squeeze the forearms together. So remember, when I squeeze the forearms together, biceps, the triceps, the pecs become engaged. Yeah. So as I do that, this free shoulder, so when I was twisting towards the left, the left shoulder needs to be free. Yeah, so thinking about coming to that nice open chest, slight rounding in the upper back, so you want to find the balance, not quite cat pose, but you're still slightly spreading into the shoulder blades. And then you're leaning forwards, yeah? So with the straight leg, you can always keep the heel tucked in. If you don't quite have the flexibility today to straighten that bottom leg, if you want to try, then obviously try. That is always there for you. So when you're ready, we'll just stretch out the wrist. So palm faces down, and again, palm faces up. Nice soft inhales and nice soft exhales. I say this as I was slightly out of breath throughout the practice, but I'm using the excuse of being pregnant and speaking and practicing at the same time. And then slowly release. Shake it off if you need to. Come to a downward dog. Press into the inner palms. Make sure they don't lift, same as in the arm balance. As you inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose. And as you exhale, lower the knees to the ground, child's pose. Bring the palms to face each other. Pinky fingers to the ground, and then really drag the pinky fingers towards the knees, sending the armpits towards the ground. So just stretching into the lats. Bringing the palms together, bend into the elbows and the fingertips behind you. Nice tricep shoulder stretch. And then roll it forward, sliding your right shin forwards. Pigeon pose. Left leg long. Lifting all the way up. And then we'll just trade sides. If you want to take any of the movements, you're more than welcome to. Lifting all the way up. Swing the legs out in front of you. Going for a hamstring stretch. Knees bent, sit tall. If you're rounding already, you'll need to sit on the edge of a brick, or a couple of cushions to stretch a little bit better into the hamstring and to ease off the lower back. So take a deep inhale through the nose. If you've got space, as you exhale, we'll fold forwards. And lifting all the way up. Coming all the way down. Squeeze the knees in. Gently rocking side to side. Rocking so much that the knees falls towards the right. Gaze towards the left. Coming back through center. And then we'll take it to the other side. And then coming back through center, squeeze the knees in. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, release the legs out in front of you. Arms by your sides. Palm faces up. Eyes closed. You can stay here as long as you need to. If you feel ready, we'll gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly roll onto the right side. And then when you feel ready to, slowly lift all the way up. Come into a nice, comfortable seated position. Sitting really nice and tall, rolling the shoulders back and down. Keeping the eyes closed. Bringing the hands together and bow the head forwards. Showing love and gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.